Welcome back to episode 35 of Simply Carifying. If this is your first time here, just know that we appreciate everything that whatever it was that brought you to this, whether it was clicking a link, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, doesn't matter. Whether you went to simplycarifying.com or wherever you heard this, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever the fuck. However you got here today, I appreciate it so much. Seriously. And if this is your first time, like I said, this is episode 35. You have 7 weeks of Monday through Friday content to go back and find 34 more episodes, as a matter of fact. So, whether you want to listen, watch, share, like, subscribe, all that fun shit, I'm going to keep going. Monday through Friday, week after week, because I said I would. And this is the end of week 7. 7. We've almost made it 2 fucking months already? Seriously? What are we in? February still? It's almost been 2 months, guys. Almost 2 months. Let's get into this, though. Episode 35. This is life-saving mom affirmations. So, I am not tip-top 100%. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm a little bit nasally, and so for that I apologize, but it is what it is. I couldn't take a day off and not come down and do this because that's just not right. That's not who I am. So, let's just jump right into it. Motherhood is a marathon, okay? And some miles are just uphill. Fact, truth, absolutely. If you're a mom, I know you felt this way at least once. If you're a new mom and you're like, no, everything's good, great rainbows. Okay, well, it's coming, honey. It's coming, okay? They don't escape. Moms don't get to escape this stuff because at one point or another, maybe you make it through baby years, toddler years, grade school years. Maybe you don't hit your uphill until teenage years, which I'm going to call you just a little bit, but maybe that's the case. At one point or another, it's going to get you to where you're like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not good enough? Blah, blah, blah. In some form or fashion, that's going to cross your mind. And that's not even because it's correct and you should be thinking like that. It's just like a mom code. It's like an error in our code. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to explain. I can't tell you when it's going to happen if it hasn't yet. Just know that it is going to. It's kind of like getting your period. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like, could be when you're 11, could be when you're 14, anywhere in between. It's just like when it comes, you know? And then you're kind of like, oh, I get it now. Doesn't make it better, but there you go. So on those days where it's just uphill, it's easy to let negative self-talk take over. How many times, for the ones who have felt it anyway, how many times have you sat there at the end of a long day of nonstop crying or tantrums or whatever, where nothing has gone your way? And you sit there in the dark or barely lit room and you're just fucking staring off, wondering what the fuck was today? Like, what did I do to fucking upset the universe? Why am I being shit on so much? Like, what actually in the fuck is going on? If you've ever felt like that, totally normal situation. Totally normal. I read yesterday that being a mom, right, is basically like having a 96-hour work week, which is the equivalent of what, like 2.5 full-time jobs. The difference is there is no clock out. There is no overtime. There's no sick days. We don't get the perk package of a corporate situation. Okay? We don't even get the occasional breaks and shit that comes with a part-time situation. There is nothing forgiving about the schedule in a mom's fucking code. Okay? Whether you go to work or you stay home, it doesn't matter. Momming does not have an off button. Okay? Now, some of you might have nannies or mannies or au pairs or babysitters or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But most of us just, the negative self-talk thing, it does tend to take over sometimes. Because even when you try to look on the bright side and find the good and all that stuff, episodes, by the way, even when you do that, sometimes the reality is it's just fucking tough. Have you ever pushed something uphill? Like, actually uphill. I'm not talking like a bunny slope like this. I'm talking like if you were to take a fucking car, let's say that you could do that, okay? Imagine pushing a car up a slope. And okay, all right. I can already feel the eyes rolling. Okay, so let's do this. Let's say you're pushing a big ass dresser up your stairs because you want it there, and for everyone who told you couldn't do it, you're gonna fucking do it anyway, right? You don't need to wait for someone to help you. You're going to get it up there. So whether you have to flip it or get hurt or whatever, it's going to happen. This is a true story, by the way. So you've got it on the landing. You tilt it over, and now it's time to fucking push. You don't know how many stairs you have, and it doesn't really matter how many are actually there. It feels like there's 3 times as many when you're trying to go. Now, if you misstep, just know that this thing is going to come down and crush you, okay? If you don't shoulder it right, if you don't keep your footing, if you lose control in any kind of way, you're going to be crushed. You're going to be pinned against the wall, or you're going to get some kind of fucking bruise or broken this or whatever. It's going to hurt. So you have got to keep your shit together the entire time. You can't see the top of the stairs. You just know that eventually it's going to be there. You just don't know when. Okay? Counting the stairs doesn't make a fucking difference because you're really focused on the not getting crushed part. So, you're pushing this up, and some of the steps are going pretty smooth. However, even though you flip the dresser so that you're not having to do extra work, picking up the feet and everything, the lip of the dresser gets stuck under the edge of one of the steps. So, you're on the backside now. You can't go to the front to lift it up. You have to change something about how you're holding it, how you're pushing it. So you kind of have to back up, and you have to maneuver and all this stuff. Well, you start to feel yourself sliding a little bit because it's carpeted stairs, It's hard to do. Even if we want to believe the best of the best every single day and we just know we're going to do it, we'll get it done. Okay, we'll get it done. But there are some times where you're going to stop on those stairs and you're going to be like, why the fuck did I not wait for someone to be home? If I had someone else on the other side of this, they could lift it up and I could push. But now I'm stuck here, probably in the middle of my stairs, and I need to know what to do. Do I go backwards? Do I start over? This is a lot of how momming is throughout the day. A lot of days. Now, I'm not moving fucking dressers up the stairs by myself like an idiot every day. Thank God for that. But I've done it enough to where it's like, okay, you're ridiculous. I'm still going to do it again if it comes down to it. But these things, once you're doing these mom days where you're just constantly going uphill, you're battling all the steps, you're doing all the stuff, you're exhausted, you're drained, you're fucking mentally spent. That's when it's like, why are you so stupid? Why are you not stronger than this? You've done it before. What's different now? Can you really not figure it out? Maybe someone else should have done this. Maybe you're getting worse. Maybe you're just this. Maybe you're that. Those are the negative things that break in there. And it doesn't help anybody. So these affirmations, okay, that a lot of people will roll their eyes and all that stuff, but using affirmations is a way to replace those little lies that you're telling yourself with truth. And truth that acknowledge your hard work and your humanity. Because again, we are humans. Dun, 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 dun. So there are some. I wanted to pull some to be able to show because I feel like a lot of people need these, and sometimes you just need to be able to hear them from someone. I don't know. So let's just figure that out. So for the messy house days, okay, it says, my home is lived in, my kids are loved, and my worth is not measured by the state of my kitchen counters. Today, good enough is exactly where I need to be. Okay. I know that if I go upstairs to my kitchen right now, I can probably guess that someone's left a cereal bowl out, or the box of cereal, or someone's making breakfast, maybe haven't taken care of the pots or pans or whatever. It's fine right now. I am not freaking out about it. You know, I know that there are some toys in the living room. I know that there are some clothes hanging over the edge of the basket. At one point in time, I wanted a show house. I really did. I really did. I wanted it to be where people could stop by whenever, and it just didn't matter. Like, if my best friend showed up at my door and wanted to come over for a drink or come over to watch a show or whatever, I didn't have to be called ahead or plan it. They could just stop by, and it's like, hey. Difference between now and then is that can still happen. That's totally fine. But I'm not going to freak out if my kids didn't put their shoe in the shoe thing. You know, it's annoying, but it's not like going to ruin my day. You know what I mean? There may be mail up on the table, and someone might have not put the keys on the right hook or whatever. Again, not detrimental situations to me. My bathroom, my husband probably left his contact solution, you know, on the sink instead of putting it up on the shelf. And you know what I mean? So like, I'm not going to let the fact that my house isn't a 100% show house all the time make me feel like a horrible mom or wife or person in general, because my house is lived in. I have a 5-year-old. She's fucking nuts. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go behind her and straighten up everything she fucking messes up. I'm not going to do that. She will do that, you know, and whatever my kids get out, they will do that. But I'm not going to waste my time and energy micromanaging every fucking thing in this house, because this is where we live. Right? It doesn't have to be a fucking show place all the time. And I know so many people that, especially with kids, you have kids. The people who have the show houses, they don't have kids. Okay? And they have maids or cleaners or what the fuck ever. It's a very weird situation sometimes. The pretentious fuck I used to work for, single guy at the time, had a cleaner that came in, actually had 2. And I mean, his was very not clutter, so there's no pictures, there's no extras, you know, very simple, clean line living, Manhattan, you know, chic, whatever the fuck. That's you, my guy. I have 4 kids with 4 very different personalities, okay? And you can see that in their rooms, throughout the house. Like, it's just, this isn't my shell. We're not living in Kara's catalog, you know what I mean? Where everything is picture perfect all the time. Because we're not picture perfect all the time, so yeah. Anyway, that's the big one. So just remember, for the burnout days, I am a human being. Not a productivity machine. Taking a moment to breathe isn't a luxury. It's how I show up for the people I love. Fact, absolutely 100,000%. Okay? These are the uphill days. These are the, what am I doing? Burnout's very real. And usually when you get burnt out, You know, you stop wanting to do those things that made you that way. Well, momming isn't one of those situations. You can't just not mom anymore. I mean, some people do, and then they end up on horrible, shows and stuff. It's just not a luxury that we get to turn off whenever we feel like it. But we do get those moments where we can kind of step out and just like realize that we don't have to be turned on all the time, as far as like, let's make sure that every fucking sock and piece of laundry is folded and put away, and every dish and every this, and not one speck of dust, and take that deep breath. It's okay. You are a human. It's okay. It's okay. For the lonely days, I am doing the invisible work that changes the world. Even when no one sees it, my presence matters, and I am part of a huge sisterhood of moms doing exactly the same. Right. There you go. I don't even need to go into that one. For the I failed days, one bad moment doesn't make me a bad mother. I am allowed to reset, I am allowed to forgive myself, and I'm allowed to try again tomorrow. There are days where we just feel like it's just not good enough. Especially when we see videos of all these parents, all these moms out there totally glamming it up and just making everything look so fucking easy. It's so... Seeing all that, it makes it very easy for us to come down on ourselves. Like we're just not doing life right. We're not doing the mom thing right. So if we're not doing it right, fuck it, like just, it really sucks to fail. I don't know that anyone gears up to do anything and they're like, oh God, I can't wait to fucking bomb this. You know what I mean? Like, typically, people go into things, momming is no different, wanting to do the best every day. People don't wake up wanting to be depressed or wanting to neglect, this project, that, whatever, you know what I mean? So, on days where we end up feeling like that's exactly what's happening, we're human though, It's really easy to get lost and to think that we are this machine that just keeps going and going and going no matter what. Like, the battery never runs empty. The stress level never tops off. The rage-o-meter never gets full. It's just like... But if you look at anyone else, your kids have bad days. Your man has bad days. Your friends have bad days. Your parents, like random fuckers in the street. I mean, have you seen someone yelling on their phone or getting pissed off or just screaming to themselves in their car? Like, this shit's real. And for some reason, we can know that and see all of that and still think that if it's something within us that's making us want to do any of that stuff, that's us failing. Like, we hold ourselves to this ridiculous fucking standard of where no breaks, no fails ever. And it's just like, that's not real. It's not real. So yeah. There are much shorter ones. Okay, and I'm just going to go through these and then we'll wrap it the fuck up. So, when you're feeling overwhelmed, okay, when moms feel overwhelmed, it's easy to say stuff like, I'm doing my best and that's enough. Or, I am enough. Because it is. One tough day does not define me as a mother. I can do hard things. I will focus on what I can change and let go of the rest. All of those things are things that just need to be said. Even if it's said very quietly. Even if you only say it once, ever. As long as it's in there. And it's just this reassurance that it's okay to be overwhelmed. It happens to everyone at some point or another. So like I said, if you haven't hit your uphill moment just yet, just know it's coming. I'm sorry about it, but we've been there. And yes, so reclaiming your worth. My children need my presence more than they need a clean house. Or, I am the exact mother my children need. Or, taking care of my own needs is not selfish, it's a necessity. That's a big one. I am more than just a mom. I am a multifaceted individual. Okay, so that's a mouthful, but I think even other people forget that moms are people too, right? Like they have likes, they have wants and needs and hobbies and all this stuff, but they have kids, right? So just because you have brought life into this grand world doesn't mean you just stop existing, right? You're not like the perma-utter for these kids, and that's it. You actually have a life still. You may not get to do everything that you were able to do before you had kids. Or it might take a while before you can actually find the groove and get back into a lot of different things. However, it's not impossible. Okay? And it's not unreasonable. You don't lose your identity when you have a kid. You feel like it. You definitely feel like it. But you're still there. Okay? And there's nothing wrong than wanting to be more than just a mom. Nothing wrong with it. For finding calm and grace. Calm is a choice, and I can choose it right now. I forgive myself for my mistakes. Today is a fresh start. Or, I am allowed to ask for help. It is a sign of strength. Remember the dresser talk? Yeah, I have asked for help. And let me tell you, the days that I do ask for help, they go a lot quicker, a lot smoother than the days where I just bullhead fucking muscle this shit up there myself. Doesn't always happen, but learn that it's okay to ask. Because again, we're human and all this. Yeah. This situation is a mess, but I am not a mess. Okay, yeah. It's like walking out and stepping into, what some call street gravy. Doesn't sound good, does it? No. Just because you get in it doesn't mean you're this disgusting creature and that's just, bog of eternal stench. That's just you now for the rest of your days. No. Sometimes shit happens and you just roll. That's it. That doesn't mean you're a shitty person. Doesn't mean you're a shitty mom. Nothing like that. They won't be this little forever. This season is temporary. This is tough because I have heard this so much. And yes, as a mom who has 4 daughters, the youngest being 5, the oldest being 20, I can tell you that even though it feels like you're stuck in a cycle of suck sometimes, or just constant tantrums or screaming or just when will you grow up kind of deal. When they do, there's no backsies. There's no, oh, I wish I could rewind. It's done. You have to take the crap with the gold, It does not last forever. And there are things that you will definitely miss. My thing is I always said, I can't wait till my kids are older and all the toys and shit will be out of the living room. I will have an adult living room, right? Not without books and dolls and squishmallows everywhere, But eventually that goes away, right? There are just things, and you find yourself reminiscing about what it was. So my older 2, 17 and 20, they used to be so little, cute, blah, wear pink all the time. They wear matching outfits. They liked this, that, whatever. All these things they like that they can't fucking stand anymore. Or they wear only darker colors, or they look back at pictures way back when and they're like, oh man, cringe, blah, whatever. And it's but you were so cute. It was so fun. It was this, that. Like, you used to play with this and all that. So, yeah. I'm like halfway there. Like, my 2 older ones are older, but then I've got 2 younger ones that are 5 and 11. I know the gap's crazy. But I'm not through it just yet. I've kind of like shifted partially, right? I've gotten a taste of what it's like to kind of evolve toward the cutting stuff out, and things are done and over and it didn't last that long, and reminiscing and wishing this, that, whatever. Yeah. It's a lot of chaos, what we deal with. It definitely is. But every year, they get older. They get a little more civilized, a little more human-like. And then they need you a little bit less. And then you don't really remember all of the shit that stressed you out. I mean, you do, right? Because when they're like 30, I'm going to be like, oh my God, when you fucking lost my car keys and you drew all over the wall with permanent marker. Like, yeah, those stories are there. But how you're feeling when you're like when you're needing these affirmations, right? When you're needing to just recite, just to remind yourself that you don't fucking suck and you're not this horrible person. You're not going to remember a lot of those times. You're going to hold on to the core memories of, yeah, it sucks to step on a Lego, but my God, how happy you were when you built that castle and like came trotting in to show me all of the things, you know, all the specs. Like, yeah, picking up slime and Play-Doh and shit like that. Yeah, that really sucks. However, to see you bring shit to life with dough, it's like that's the part that just kind of sticks around. So look, there are things that we do need to say to ourselves. If it's not every day, that's fine. We just have to remember to block out the negative shit that tends to creep in. That one voice in the back of your head that like wakes up every so often and is like, bitch, you're dumb. You know, no. We don't have time for that. Okay? Totally fine to take the time to put that person back to bed, you know. But some quick tips you could do. I know people that put little phrases and stuff on like sticky notes and just puts it somewhere. Or they have these things, you know, it's part of their everyday routine where they get up, they get ready, and it's whatever. I myself like to doodle a little something on the mirror sometimes just so I know, or I have little notes kind of placed. It's just in there, okay? My other thing is I use my body. I use my body. This is what sucks about, so I am a tattoo person, but like, what I love about my tattoos now, I've had them for years, but what I love about them now are the ones that I like to see all the time, and they're just constant reminders. So I have like a key on my leg and it says, we're all mad here, but everything will be okay. And I take that as kind of like my key to life. Like, everything can spiral sometimes, but it's going to be okay, you know? On the other leg, I am my strongest anchor, okay? Which is very real. So I have believe on my wrist. I have my daughters and myself on my arm. I have I love you that, you know, in my husband's handwriting. I have all of these things constantly. And that's not a mistake. Like, that's the hard part about getting them these days. But just remember, don't believe all the things you think. Okay? Just know that for every bad thing that you're feeling, for every negative thing, there's something you can say to pull yourself out of it, to negate that. You know, the truth to cover the lie. Just remember you're human. We're doing the best we can do, and that's all you can fucking do. Okay? So, with that, we've kind of rambled a little bit. I say we know it's me. So like, subscribe, all this fun shit. We're going to wrap it up now. And we will see you next time. I hope you all have a fantastic fucking weekend. And yeah, just remember, you are enough and everything will be okay.